Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1650 PWAM. That's right, we are 1650 PWAM, Pro Wrestling and more. This is the Raw post-game show, or recap show, or review show. Here's why we're back. Everybody's sitting there going, Joe, you didn't keep your word. It only lasted 2 weeks. Meh. Here's the realization that we came to a couple weeks ago. We had a bit of a group meeting a few days back. And we were like, hey, we're calling ourselves Pro Wrestling and More, yet the only pro wrestling that we're covering is CWF Mid-Atlantic, and I did a Wrestle Circus show. So, we're back covering Raw. And here's the thing, it's not going to be like a fluffy Joe's a Raw fanboy show like it used to be. Because tonight's show was anything but great, in my opinion. AC is not here again. I checked in with him. Said he was going to be here. He's not here. Third week in a row, I think. Second or third week in a row. I had his word. Hey, I'll be here. During the middle of the show tonight, he was the Raw tonight. He was Facebook or tweeting at us. I just messaged him on Facebook, asked, hey, are you still awake? Don't stand me up again. He's not here. That's where you guys come in. If you feel like you want to share your opinions on tonight's show, call in 434-710-4900, 434-710-4900. I'll put you on the air and we can chat about tonight's episode of Raw and the build for SummerSlam. Now, I will say, during tonight's SummerSlam, they reminded me of something that I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, man, do we really got to go sit through this? A 2-hour pregame show, followed by a 4-hour event. And if they do like a little post show or whatever, that's another hour or at least 30 minutes. Six hours of this bullshit that we're gonna have to sit there in 2 weeks. Six hours. Let's start about with this Raw here. I did watch it. There was a lot of good wrestling on the show tonight, I thought, but my God, Again, we say it every week, 3 hours is too much. 3 hours is way too much. Anyway, Miz is in the ring with Maurice, Bo Dallas, who still can't find a suit to wear, and Curtis Axel. And Miz says he's not in the mood until he wants Jason Jordan. Raw will not begin until he gets Jason Jordan. He's so sick of being blindsided and cheap-shotted on his own show. Miz invites Jason to Miz TV. And then Kurt Angle comes out instead. So already Daddy's fighting his battles for him. So they're still calling him Jason Jordan on TV apparently. He's not Jason Angle. Kurt Angle comes out, says his son will not be a guest, and that he has a match against Curtis Axel. And Angle says he has a guest who will exceed Miz TV standards, and Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. Miz says he runs things. I kind of liked Miz's promo here. I really did. Said what any heel should say. Says Brock is going to take his ball, go home. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Miz asks if Mr. Advocate would like to add anything. Paul says asks him if him and his wife do any role playing, which I thought was funny, and the crowd popped for it. Keep in mind they were in Canada tonight, Bizarro World. I don't think they reminded us of that tonight, which was a total shocker. So basically, he said, Miz, you're Roman Reigns. Bo, you're Samoa Joe. And Curtis, you're Braun Strowman. And playing the role of Brock Lesnar will be Brock Lesnar. And Paul leaves the ring, and Brock dismantles everybody with German suplexes and F5s. Seth Rollins taking on Sheamus with Cesaro here. I'll be honest with you, I missed the first part of the match because I was washing dishes tonight. My girlfriend actually broke her foot while walking on the treadmill at the gym. So she's in a boot, like one of those walking boot things. So I had to cook dinner, do the dishes, do all the good husbandly stuff or manly stuff around the house today. Washing dishes can be manly. Why not? I enjoy it. Made it to where I didn't have to see the first half of this awful match. I guess now, here it is. What? WrestleMania was in April? May, June, July, August. 4 months later. I can honestly say now that we have validity to Seth Rollins' over-the-top torch entrance at WrestleMania. With the burn it down thing. He's going to burn everything down. Even the t-shirt says, burn it down. By the way, if you're watching us here tonight live on 1650 PWAM, whether it be Twitch on YouTube or YouTube, check out the description below. There's a link there for iTunes. We are on iTunes, selected 1650 PWAM shows, and apparently in the future all Blading for Truth episodes will be down there as well. Go there and donate as well. You can donate to us. All donations are very much welcome. You can donate via credit card or PayPal. If you're watching us on Twitch, there are cards down below where you can follow us on Twitter. And even donate to us. There's separate links there for credit card and one for PayPal. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Joe Pillow to Post. The network Twitter is 1650 PWAM. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Join us in our chat room, or you can call in 434-710-4900. We want to know what you thought about this show tonight. So this match here with Seth and Sheamus was horrible. I didn't like it at all. Rollins at the end of it gets a Kawada kick. Sheamus does a backdrop at the end of it. Rollins lands on his feet, hits a sling blade. Cesaro is kicked off the apron. Sheamus rolls him up for a 3 count. So the idea here is, after the match, Rollins does a suicide dive to Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro work over Rollins and send him into the ringside barrier. They send Rollins sternum first into the ringside barrier. They bring Rollins back into the ring. And they even do a little bit of a turnaround to see if Ambrose is going to come out. They don't. Then they hit a spike white noise to finish this. Now, here's my thing about this. Sheamus and Cesaro, or Cesaro was out there for the entire match. Okay? Why not implement this storyline in the match? Why not do this into the match? You know, you could have had Cesaro playing the classic quote-unquote manager, tag team partner / manager role. Why not have him cheat for Sheamus whenever the referee's back is turned? And the storyline here could be that the commentators are like, Cesaro, man, Seth's out here with no backup, but Sheamus has Cesaro as his second. There's nobody out here to stop Cesaro from cheating in the match. Seth Rollins clearly has Sheamus's number. He clearly has, the advantage here, but he's losing that advantage because Cesaro was out here, doing the thing. And you have Sheamus win. They could have had the same finish. I liked the finish of the match. I liked the fact that Sheamus won. But you could have, all this stuff you did after the match with the suicide dives and everything could have still stood. Because it's WWE, so we got a 50-50 book everything. It still could have stood. But why not implement it a little bit in the match? The match is designed to tell the story, not what happens afterwards. So much. So you implement that. And then you go, well, Ambrose isn't coming out here to help Seth. Even when the looking back deal, I like that. You could have done that during the match. You could have had him, Cesaro, helping out Sheamus. Sheamus has on that. Sheamus does a cloverleaf, and he's rearing back, and Cesaro's grabbing his hand while the referee is asking Seth, "Hey, you want to give up? You want to give up?" But he's not seeing Cesaro grab Sheamus's hand to give him extra torque on the figure four. And while Cesaro is having his hand and pulling it, he's looking over his shoulder because he doesn't know if Ambrose is going to come out. That is an awesome way to do it. But no, this is WWE. We got to do the 50-50 booking. We go to a commercial after this. Seth Rollins is limping in the back and he stops to talk to Ambrose. Dean says he told Seth not to do it again. Dean says he looked like a real jerk now. Seth tells Dean he is a jerk. Seth asks, what does he have to do after 3 years to prove that he's not the same guy he was? He's not sticking around long enough to find out, Dean says. It was a one-time team thing. Tonight he faces Cesaro and he will go it alone. We're in the back. Kurt Angle checks. This is where the show really just... we're off to a good start, and then this is just the cherry on the turd pie. Kurt Angle's checking with Curtis Axel to see if he'll be able to wrestle. The medical staff, the fine acting by the WWE medical staff. I don't think I could clear him. That's exactly how he said it. I don't think I could clear him. He's not clear. Get that guy an Emmy. So Kurt Angle walking around and he finds somebody. He finds Jean-Pierre Goulet. Goulet also a takeoff of Rene Goulet, famous wrestler from the 70s and 80s. I like Rene Goulet. Rene Goulet was also a good little enhancement talent, good little hand there back in the 80s. So Jason Jordan's in the ring after, and this is all going on while Jason Jordan's in the ring. Jason Jordan now is coming out with a Kurt Angle style singlet, a lot of gold with the red, white, and blue, and the red, white, and blue Titantron, and shoddy new ring music. So Jason Jordan nods, and out comes Jean-Pierre Goulet. Basically, you could have heard a pin drop during this fucking match because the crowd started, aside from when the crowd started chanting, "Let's go, Jobber." And no, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that they called the guy Jean-Pierre Goulet or the fact that they billed him from Canada. You still would have had the same "Let's go, Jobber" chant if it was Paducah, Kentucky, in my opinion. Jason Jordan hits a pop-up net breaker for the 3 count. And by the time the crowd knew that the Jobber was losing, which you expected it, but by the time that the match was halfway through, the crowd fell silent. I mean, silent. You heard smatterings of boos, but there was one point in this match that crowd, you could have heard a fucking pin drop. You could have heard a pin drop. So Jason Jordan wins, beating Jean-Pierre Goulet. And I'm sitting there going, is Jean-Pierre Goulet going to be the next James Ellsworth? And this match was horrible, too. That's what kills me. I even put it out on Twitter. Pardon. I put out on Twitter, just like when he was single star in NXT, you could hear a pin drop when Jason Jordan's out in front of that crowd. At this rate, they are going to find out really quickly why they teamed him up with Chad Gable. Want to hear what you thought about the show tonight? 434-710-4900. Please give us a call in. There's no AC tonight again. Again, the Jason Jordan thing. I know it's a slow build and it's going to end up with him being heel. I have a feeling that he's going to turn heel very quickly. And you know what? It may suit him. But it's Jason Jordan still at the end of the day. Cole mentions that Bayley is out of the women's title match at SummerSlam. Bayley makes her way to the ring. She has her right arm in a sling. She is asked about the announcement that she suffered a separated shoulder. And they show what happened next week against Nia Jax. Bayley says it sucks she can't wrestle at SummerSlam. She says she cannot watch it because it will make her angry. So basically, says it's hard to be happy right now. Bayley is asked then who will face Alexa at SummerSlam. She says she will pick the one who she thinks deserves it. And it's, of course, Sasha Banks. Getting set up then. So what they had set up now here is what they really didn't tell you tonight. They may have showed you on graphics or whatever. That they're going to have 2 triple threat matches. So, in a week where, and I wish AC was here, because in a week where it's like, and for the last like 2 or 3 months, it's been all the women, no matter the brand, the women are going to have a fatal 4-way, 6-pack challenge, whatever, Skippy-Doo match, and then the winner of that will face the champion. So now instead of doing it that way, they're breaking it up. They're having 2 3-way matches and then a singles match. It's still the same thing. You're still going up your ass to get to your elbow. Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks versus Emma. Emma way over here. Sasha's ring gear to me looked amazing tonight. Sasha just, man. Emma looked amazing too. They sell the fact that Emma's not getting a chance. She's been bugging Kurt Angle for a chance. And then they have him a job. They have a prime angle right there. You're not giving me a shot. Why aren't you giving me a shot? And then they have her take the pinfall. You build it. You think that there's something there. The fans react to it. And then nope. They jerk the curtain back, or they jerk the rug back out from underneath of us yet again. It's a typical triple threat match. It really is. It really was. Typical Sasha Banks. Alicia Fox. Why is Alicia Fox still there? I've been saying it for the last 3 years now. If there's anybody in that company that deserves to be released, it's her. I don't care if that does get me heat with people. She adds no value to the show. She's not good at cutting promos. Her work rate is terrible compared to other people that are now there. Why is she still there? Why is she on my TV every week? Braun Strowman's in the back. He cuts a typical scripted fucking promo. Hated it. The delivery was good, but you could so tell it was scripted. And then the man himself. Oh, God, here we go. Boy, do I have some shit to say about this one. The man himself, Enzo Amore, makes his way to the ring. And then he brings out the Big Show, and they have a fucking typical fucking, oh, God. It was good while it lasted in NXT. It really was. But then I said it. Didn't I say it? I said it. I know I said it. When Enzo and Cass make it to the main roster, they're going to quickly be split up. And it happened. It took about a year and a half for it to happen, but it happened. And now Enzo's going to flounder because Enzo is annoying. And get this, he's not just annoying to us fans. Go online and read the sheets. He's annoying to wrestlers too. I know at least on 2 separate occasions in the last month, I've read about Enzo Amore having backstage heat and getting kicked out of the locker room and getting kicked off tour buses. Once last week he got kicked off the bus on the European tour for having a loud conversation on a cell phone, bragging about how much money he's making. which is something that you just don't do. So they kicked Roman Reigns, I hear, for only good thing Roman Reigns ever did. Kicked him off the bus. Now there's heat. Justin Barrazzo, I don't know, of SI.com, Sports Illustrated, is reporting that Amore recently brought in a series of questionable guests into the locker room. Apparently, these guests were breaking locker room etiquette by recording and taking pictures of the talent. People in WWE are said to be disappointed with Amore's behavior and with him also venturing into outside music projects. That's a big no-no. That's a big bozo no-no. To quote Sons of Anarchy, that's a bozo no-no. So, I'm sorry. If I'm a wrestler, I'm not bringing family into the locker room or guests into the locker room, period. Yeah, you see people visiting in the NFL locker rooms and the MLB locker rooms, but that's set up usually by somebody in the organization. You don't just bring them back there yourselves. And you damn sure tell them not to have their phones out taking pictures and recording. We're in a day and age where women are getting their cell phones hacked and shit's getting posted online all the time. Yeah, let's have our guests in the locker room with cell phones. Give me a break. I hope this little twerp gets fired. Yeah, you making all that money, I hope you save some of it because they're going to future endeavor your ass pretty soon. I have a feeling. Getting back to Raw. Enzo. He says Gallows looks... Well, basically, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows come out. They have a challenge. This promo by them was horrible. I get it. Oh, we got to have the good brother thing, which nobody knows what that means except for talent who followed them in the Indies and in New Japan. They have to have the word ski follow at least one word every fucking promo. Again, nobody knows what the gist of that is or what the deal behind that is. It's not their fault. It's WWE's fault for not giving them an avenue or a platform to explain it or to get it over. But nobody knows what these little inside jabs mean. We'll get to an inside jab later on that does mean something, that is taking over, that is standing out. But we'll get to that in a minute. So Big Show and Enzo take on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. One more thing about the promo here. Enzo says that Luke Gallows could be Dr. Evil and Carl Anderson's Mini-Me. When did the last Austin Powers movie come out? Looking it up right now. It was Goldmember, if I'm not mistaken. 2002! 2002! I'll say it again. 2002. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm letting that sink in. I'll say it again. 2002 is the last time Mini-Me and Dr. Evil were relevant. That's 15 fucking years. I think the promo train is now derailed, Enzo. What is this? What is it with the people in the wrestling business coming out and bringing shit up that's irrelevant? We're going to have more on that on the CWF After Show this week because, we got some tweets to report, folks. Oh, we got CWF tweets to talk about this week. The match was shit. Cassidy makes his way to the ring as this match is going on. Show is kicked off the apron by Gallows. Anderson tags in. They set up for a magic killer. Enzo kicks Anderson away. Anderson then big boots Enzo, rolls him up, bam. After the match, Colin with a boot to Show. Colin punches the Big Show. Enzo with a suicide dive, and he kicks Colin. Colin gets back up, throws Enzo into the ringside barrier, throws him into the ring, and Enzo falls to the floor, so Colin goes to the floor. Enzo then staggers away from Cassidy. Colin then goes to follow him, and Big Show knocks him out. All of a sudden, Big Show's revived again from the big boot. Finn Balor's in the back. He may pop in his collar, as AC would say, but AC's not here to say it. Makes his way to the ring. And here's where I say he's being relevant. Something that's fucking relevant here. The crowd starts going, too sweet. Too sweet. What does Balor do? Too sweet me. Or just too sweet. Throws up the Wolfpack sign. Acknowledges it. You got a crowd coming to WWE referencing something that has nothing to do with WWE, that is more over than anything in WWE. And guess what? They acknowledge it. Because it's cool. It's getting over. Now, Balor will probably have a ton of heat for it. Mark my words, we'll have heat. We'll read online. Finn Balor has heat for acknowledging the too sweet chants on Raw. Him and Prey do their typical fucking promo back and forth to each other. Smoke and mirrors. That's all this is. Smoke and mirrors. If the damn Balor demon does not come back at SummerSlam, what's the point in all this? Unless they're saving it for another Raw pay-per-view to draw viewership to that. Because by now, SummerSlam is a lot like WrestleMania. SummerSlam is the draw. With a card like this, it's not going to draw shit, but you get what I mean. So when Bray comes into the ring, Finn is up on the turnbuckle. Finn leaps over a charging Wyatt, goes to the apron, hits Bray with an enziguri and a sling blade, and then when he returns into the ring, and then Bray disappears and pops up on the Titantron. Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro. I will say this. Ambrose gets a lot of fucking heat here, and rightfully so for his matches as of late in the last few years, couple years. Because he's flat out fucking boring. But it's my opinion here that Cesaro carried his ass to a damn good match tonight. They gave it a lot of time. I was surprised at how long they gave it. Or at least the match seemed like they gave it a lot of time when I'm watching it. And it was good. Cesaro did a very good job in this match. Made Dean Ambrose look like $1 million. Dean Ambrose has to stop zombie selling. What I mean by that is every time he gets hit, he's got that, he's got to have his eyes roll back in his head and his jaw, he's all slack jaw, like, you know. Other than that, don't really have a bad thing to say about this match. It was very, very good. It's probably the match of the show. Partly and most of all, and thanks to Cesaro. So, the end of the match comes as Sheamus gets up on the apron, because of course Sheamus is out there with Cesaro. Ambrose goes for the double underhook DDT. Knocks Sheamus off the apron. Cesaro with a sharpshooter, and here it is. I'm thinking maybe Ambrose just might tap here. They had me with this one. They hooked me in. They just made me suspend my disbelief a little bit for this one. They did their job. Ambrose crawls to the ropes eventually and gets there. Cesaro then has to break the hold. Ambrose backdrops Cesaro over the top rope to the floor, which They need to stop doing that, man. Somebody's going to break their fucking neck one day. Ambrose goes to the top. Comes down with the Macho Man elbow on Cesaro, like the outside elbow, axe handle that he used to do. Cesaro gets back in the ring. Ambrose goes up top. Sheamus distracts Ambrose. And then the match still ends with Ambrose getting a roll up for the 3 count. The winner, Dean Ambrose. After the match, Sheamus instantly attacks Ambrose. Now Seth Rollins' music plays, and then he backdrops Cesaro on the floor, attacks Sheamus, clotheslines him over the top rope to the floor. They quickly dispatch these two. I liked it. Short, sweet, to the point. Seth and Dean are in the ring together now. This is where they really screwed the pooch tonight. Maybe they're building to something here. I goddamn hope so. I doubt it, folks. I really doubt it. They're in the ring, and they look at each other, and they're looking at each other for a long time. The crowd is building and building and building. You could hear that crowd. I don't give a fuck that they were in Canada tonight. They would have done the same here in the States. Again, same thing in Paducah. But you had them building and building, and that crowd is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. They want to see it. They really want to see it. And then Ambrose sticks his hand out and wants to do the Shield fist bump. The crowd goes ape shit. Man, woman, child, did not matter. Smart mark, WWE mark, fanboy, fangirl, did not matter. Even I started to mark out for this. Even I'm sitting there going, no, they're not going to do this. They're not going to do this. No way. And then he stuck the hand out, and I was like, oh, shit, maybe they're going there. Maybe they're going there. And then they have just Seth just up and walk away. Shakes his head, walks away. And I'm just like, man, this better be building to fucking something. This better be a bit of a slow build to something. I was like, are they going to do this? Are they really going to fucking... They had me there for a moment. They really had me there for a moment. I got to admit. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's good when WWE captures your attention like that. It's good when you have a mark out moment like that. When I tell you, when Amber stuck his hand down, I got all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. I was like, oh, shit. Now, I know everybody out there, we don't want to see a Shield reunion. We don't need a Shield reunion. Maybe you don't do a Shield reunion, but in the sake of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, maybe they do need it. But who knows? Maybe they're building to something here. We'll have to. This makes me want to wait and see where the story goes. I like this part. Very good storytelling there. I think that if they would have done what I suggested earlier in the night, would have been that much better. Would have been made it a little bit better here. And then they had a cruiserweight match. Oh, God. Can I skip this? Would you guys hate me if I skip this? Because it's so damn skippable. It's so damn skippable. Tozawa versus Daivari. Tozawa's still with Titus. They're getting the Titus brand over. Booker T no-sells them on the commentary. And fucking Tozawa wins. Renee's with Roman Reigns. I will say this is a good promo by Reigns. I'll put Reigns over here. The problem with Braun is that Braun needs to get more comfortable speaking. And I think if they give him more promos and then he gets comfortable, he'll start acting, quote-unquote, acting a little bit better. Reigns is used to the scripted shit, so he can do it a little bit better now. He's used to it. He's kind of adapted to it. Renee Young asks him about Brock's appearance at the start of Raw. And he goes, I don't watch Miz TV, but I heard about it. He doesn't care if Brock stays in WWE. He retired The Undertaker, and he's going to retire Brock. He has no problems retiring Brock Lesnar. I thought that was a good line. He said he beat Samoa Joe last week, and tonight he's going to be the last man standing. I liked the promo. It was a decent promo. Again, there was good stuff on this show. Alexa Bliss has joined the announcers again for Mickie James versus Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke. I'll be so honest with you guys. I was coming downstairs to get ready for the show, and by the time I walked to my kitchen, poured myself a drink, came downstairs, put the Xfinity app on, and turned on Raw, it was over, and Nia Jax was getting her hand raised. They gave this no time at all. Here's an idea for you guys. We kind of knew that Nia was winning this match. Why not say, hey, you want to see these two wrestle? Or you want to see these two fight? Tune in tonight after Raw on the network or something. I know, it sounds like a cheap idea, but the thing is, they got to fill those 3 hours. I'm thinking outside the box. I know I'm thinking crazy here, but did this really need to be on Raw? Yes, Joe, because you had to announce it, and they had the first one on there, but I don't know. This was blink and you miss it. Did we really miss it? Did we really need to see it? I would have been better off having Nia Jax nail Mickie James and Dana Brooke in the back and took him out in the back. The referee says, hey, you two can't wrestle. Nia Jax therefore gets a bye. Goldust is in the back. He quotes The Graduate, and he says the golden age is back, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, and then this continues. I'm starting to yawn again. Oh. Cassidy enters Kurt Angle's office. Of course, Kurt's on the phone. Every time we see Kurt Angle, he's got to be on his phone. Says he wants the big show at SummerSlam. He wants Enzo nowhere near New York. Kurt's like, what do you want me to do? Put him in a shark cage? And then Colin's like, you got it. That's right. I want him in a shark cage above the ring. Didn't they just do this? Either earlier this year or late last year? I know they did it in NXT, and then they did it a month later at a pay-per-view. With Jericho and Owens. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. I liked the match. I will say that, though. These two have good chemistry together. That big man versus big man fight feel. I like it. I like the match. I thought it was going to end in a double count out, like a double DQ, a draw where they both get counted out. And it didn't. I was shocked that it didn't. They went the right route here. Because you hadn't seen Samoa Joe all night. And even I had forgotten about Samoa Joe, to be honest with you. That's not necessarily a bad thing when they did this. Now, if they would have had Samoa Joe not be on the show at all, that's bad. Of course, they do their brawl around the ring. They use the steps. And Roman, they're on the outside, and Strowman gets into the timekeeper area. Roman is running at Strowman, and all of a sudden, Strowman just flat out shot puts a damn office chair, one of the office chairs for the timekeepers and ring announcers use, right into Roman. It was beautiful looking. I liked it. They get up near the announce table. They brawl on the stage. Nobody went through the announce table. What's the use in fucking with it then? He sets Roman up for a powerbomb through the table. Reigns hits a Superman punch on him. Stays on his feet. Roman with another Superman punch. Strowman stays on his feet. Roman sets up for a spear off the stage. Roman with a kick. And then Roman spears him kind of down the ramp. Both men are down. And Roman is up. And just as you think that the referee is going to count Strowman out, Samoa Joe's in the crowd. Reaches over the barrier. Puts the Coquina clutch on Strowman. He then adds a body scissors and Roman is choked out. Officials come out at one point and tell Joe to go to the back. Referee starts counting and Joe gets to his feet and the referee counts 10. Winner, Braun Strowman. I like the ending. I liked the fact that it kind of put over Samoa Joe. I like the fact that they put over Braun Strowman here. It lets us know that the Strowman-Roman feud is not over yet. This is one of those feuds where people are going to sit there and go, you know, it's funny. People nowadays are like, they don't let things build up. They don't let things build up. They don't have long feuds anymore. And then when they do have a long feud, oh man, let it be over. Why can't it just be over? Why can't they have an end to it? Why can't they build it, and then have it in at a pay-per-view, and that be the end of it? Meh. They're doing that with Owens and Styles on the SmackDown side of things. A lot of people going, why can't we just see Owens and AJ just end their rivalry? Why can't they end that feud? Remember when feuds used to go on for years? Fuck. I admitted that this show is damn sure not the best thing in the world. But when they do kind of do something right, and they recognize that two people have chemistry in the ring, and they give you more of it, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Eventually, do they need to end it? Yes. Can we go with year-long feuds in wrestling anymore? No. Why? Because the motherfucking sensitive universe's attention span is about the size of a damn pea. That's why. But I want to see more Roman and Strowman. I like when those two match up together. In fact, it's the only Roman match that I don't mind sitting through. These two have a good pairing. They went with the right finish tonight. It gets Samoa Joe over. It gets Roman Reigns some sympathy, some babyface sympathy, and it gets Braun Strowman over. As a damn, oh my God, he got another one on him. How's Roman going to feel about this next week? Oh my God, Strowman got the win haphazardly. A win's a win, but man, these two have got to win. Are these two finally going to get to settle their differences, you know, without any shenanigans going down? That's the story here. SummerSlam is still looming in the background too. Oh my God, what's going to happen when all three of these guys get in the ring with Brock at SummerSlam? This is actually good storytelling by WWE here. I'm liking the way that they're booking this. I don't have a bad thing to say about this match or the way Raw ended tonight. It's the other 2.5 hours worth of bullshit that they gave us. And I know what people are going to say about Enzo Amore. I rag hard on Enzo. Well, Joe, the kids in the crowd, the 5 kids that they showed in the crowd were cheering for him. And a kid in the railway had a sign that says, I'm Enzo's biggest fan, and you can't teach that. Yay. 5 kids liked him. Yay. He's got a good merch thing going. But if he's disrupting your fucking locker room, it's going to hurt everybody else's work rate on the show. It's going to hurt everybody else's morale. Morale is everything. A guy can score. I mean, I don't know shit about football, but I'll go ahead and I'm assuming it's like this. Let me know if I'm wrong in the chat room or call in. Let me know. Leave a comment below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know something here. I got a football team. And football player A scoring, he's a quarterback. And he's throwing bombs for touchdowns. He's throwing really good touchdowns. And he's making the runs good. He's not crumbling in the pocket. Doesn't buckle under the pressure. And he doesn't, he's playing real well. Getting good pass yardage, I guess is what they call it. I know, Joe's trying to use a football reference. But let's say when the quarterback gets into that locker room, he's a real weasel. He's a real dickhead. He's not really good for morale. Maybe the football players don't want to dress with him because he's flat out just fucking annoying. He's in there bragging about how many touchdowns he makes and about how much money he's making. If I'm an office guy, if I'm the owner of a, I mean, if I'm an owner and I see that the rest of my fucking football team's morale is dead, I don't care how many touchdowns you're making me. Morale is everything. I'm telling you, I'm going to go to you and I'll go say, look, you're a phenomenal fucking football player, but you're supposed to set an example here. You're supposed to, get along with the guys. And I know Enzo's not a quarterback by any means, okay? But you're supposed to act a certain way. Your locker room etiquette is a bit off. Maybe you need to tone it down. We'll even get somebody to show you proper locker room etiquette. And, if you can't adhere to the proper locker room etiquette, we're going to suspend you. And if it continues, we're going to fire you. Morale is everything because, yeah, you could be the best quarterback in the world, but if you annoy the fuck out of your tight ends and everybody and, your wide receivers and everybody who you're playing with to the point where they no longer want to work for you, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to want to catch a pass. Maybe a couple of them end up dropping a pass I'm going to drop a pass by accident. I'm assuming it can happen. Nobody would purposely drop a pass, Joe. Not in the almighty NFL. But if the motherfucker's annoying in the locker room and the motherfucker's sitting there bragging on the bus about how much money he makes, maybe I might just, man, the ball just slipped through my hands. I'm sorry. See what I'm saying here? I know it's a bad analogy. I know I don't know dick about football. But what I do know here is that Enzo Amore, thank you whoever's watching on Twitch, by the way. Enzo Amore is just flat out fucking going to end up getting fired by the end of the year if he doesn't shape up. It's just shape up or ship out. The Hardy Boys were nowhere on tonight's show. That's another problem I have. That Gold Dust promo that they had, that means absolutely nothing. If you're going to go through with this woken Hardy shit, that right there was the insert the Matt Hardy promo. Put somebody who's actually halfway over on the show. Oh my God, what a novel fucking concept, right? Yes, I know Gold Dust is awesome. Gold Dust can work his ass off. We all love Gold Dust. But the fact of the matter is, that the Hardy Boys are more over than Gold Dust. It's true. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Want to know what you think about tonight's show? Call in 434-710-4900. We'll put you on the air. Let us know what you thought about tonight's Raw. We got a lot coming up on the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show this week. We're going to talk about the Weaver Cup. We're going to analyze this week's episode of CWF Worldwide, and Rumble season is coming. Rumble season is on its way. CWF Rumble season is on its way, I should say. That's happening in October. So, yeah, I mean, I just look at this and I go, why are the Hardy Boys not on this show? Put them in the Gold Dust slot. Why couldn't they have done like they always did and do a six-pack challenge for the damn number? Hell, why not do it again? Why not do it another week? Do the six-pack challenge deal for the women's deal, and instead of a the second triple threat match, you put the Hardy Boys on the show. I don't know why the Hardys weren't on the show this week. I wish I had a clear-cut answer. I don't. We'll probably find out in the next coming days. The Revival is injured. Scott Dawson. This time it's Scott Dawson instead of Dash Wilder. He's got a ruptured bicep. He'll be out of action for an undetermined amount of time. I know, everybody out there, fuck the Revival. Cody Rhodes did it a couple times this weekend at the Wrestle Circus show. That seems to be his new gimmick. How about, getting yourself over by being you instead of bashing someone else? Someone got bashed this weekend on Twitter. Oh. We're going to talk about that. It's CWF related, so I'll save that for the after show when Jeff Edwards is called or is on with me. Glad to have me some Jeff Edwards back on that after show, man. Glad to be talking CWF. CWF's growing. CWF is doing really good. The Wrestle Circus show was actually very good, too, this past weekend. I watched it twice. I watched it Saturday, and then I turned around and watched it again Sunday. Glad to see that promotion growing. This Enzo Amore thing, man, again, really has me wondering why he's still there. Is his merchandise numbers and the little kids cheering for him really worth it? I say you end this feud at SummerSlam with Enzo and just fucking send him on his way. There's rumor that another superstar shakeup is happening after SummerSlam. I've been reading about that for the last couple weeks. I don't think it's happening. There's rumors going around that they're going to be sending stars down to NXT and then bringing some up. You send somebody back down to NXT, you're going to kill them. Because I don't think that Full Sail crowd will welcome them back. You got this takeover show happening. This NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 is happening. And let me see if I can get a couple matches. You got Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre, singles match for the NXT Championship. It's going to be pretty good. Asuka versus Ember Moon, singles match for the Women's Championship. That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing if they're really going to let Asuka pass the record. The Authors of Pain versus Sanity. It's going to be good. It's kind of heel versus heel, isn't it? I really haven't been keeping up with NXT that much. Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. I like me some Killian Dane now. Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. That's going to be good. Hideo Itami is apparently heel now. And Andre Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano. Zelina Vega, of course, the former Rosita. Why are they continuing to push Andre Almas? Is it because they really signed him to that big of a money deal for Mexico? I don't know. Gonna wrap things up tonight. That's all I really had, man. That was wrong. That was wrong. Not. There was good and bad. I would say if I had to give this a rating, if I had to get it a whatever out of 10, gonna go 7 out of 10 tonight. There was a lot of good wrestling on the show. The Ambrose versus Cesaro match again. I think Cesaro carried Ambrose in that. I think that's pretty safe to say. So SummerSlam is shaping up like this. They already have 10 matches announced. They got the Fatal 4-Way, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman. And the way they're talking, it's not going to, all of a sudden, the day of the show, going to be changed to elimination style, so that's good. Naomi versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's title, because Natalya earned that shot. I don't think Natalya's going to get it. It would surprise me if she does. You got Alexa Bliss. She's going to be facing Sasha Banks or Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Watch it end up being both. Watch it be like, we're going to have 2 triple threats just to book another triple threat. Hey, that's WWE for you right there. I guarantee you. Take that to Vegas. That's going to be a triple threat. What you want to bet me? Jinder Mahal with the Singh brothers taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. That is interesting. That is interesting right there. I don't think Nakamura's going to get it. A lot of people are saying that, it may have done better with this Jinder Mahal lame duck title reign because he is the lame duck champion. A lot of people were sitting there excited to see him. We were playing the India number 1. India number 1. It was cool seeing him as the champion. It was cool seeing a guy that we didn't think could make it, who we never thought would make it, who we didn't want to see it. To tell you the truth, like, Jinder, really? It's a fucking jobber. But him and Shinsuke's very interesting. Ooh, are they going to piss off the sensitive universe if Nakamura loses? And let me tell you something right now. Those expecting, again, there's nothing strong style about Nakamura. That's why they're no longer calling him the King of Strong Style, because he's not strong style. That's why they're calling him the artist and the rock star and feel the vibe. Yes, that's right. Jeff Edwards is right. They have WWEized Shinsuke Nakamura. They've turned him into yet another WWE puppet. Not that there's anything wrong with being a WWE puppet. It earns you a lot of money. You don't have to put as much fucking work on your body. You can work smart instead of working stiff. I get it. It's good for the man. I'm happy for Nakamura, actually. If anybody deserves a little bit of a lesser, maybe not a lesser work schedule, but a lesser work style, a little bit lesser work rate, I'm not going to punish Nakamura for taking it and going that route now. Neville versus Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. Ugh, who cares? AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Shane McMahon is the special referee for the United States Championship. I hope this is the end of this feud. I really do. I'm enjoying it. Yes, it's a good long feud like I talked about, but it's time for AJ to work. It's time for them to get somebody else in the mix or put somebody else over. Randy Orton versus Rusev in a singles match. Ugh. Okay. Could be good. The New Day versus the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. And I guess they're back to the New Day rule where any combination of the two, it's probably going to be Big E and Kofi because Xavier can't really go that well. Versus the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. Who cares? I said it the moment that they brought the New Day over. The New Day is so stale. But the problem is that they can't break them up because neither of the three can get over on their own. It's sad but true. The only one of those three now that I could see getting over on their own, if he turns heel against them, is Xavier Woods. Big Cass versus Big Show. Oh my God, on paper. The Big Cass versus the Big Show Enzo is suspended above the ring in a shark cage. And then you got Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. I'm telling you, man, for that Finn Balor thing, if they don't debut that demon character, either at SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, then it's a lost fucking cause for Finn Balor. That's just the way I see it. But the match on this, I'll be honest with you, the two matches that I'm looking forward to seeing on SummerSlam right now as it stands is I'm looking forward to seeing Jinder and Shinsuke just to see where they go with it and see how that's going to go over. Because all the New Japan marks are probably sitting there going, if anybody could get Jinder over, Shinsuke can. And you know what? You're probably right. I'm looking forward to the four-way because I think that four-way is going to go good. I still think Samoa Joe's taking the pinfall, and I still think it's going to be Roman Reigns pinning him. After tonight, and the way they booked tonight, I honestly think that's the direction they're going. Roman Reigns pins Samoa Joe to win the match, the damn thing. And by God, it's a fucking New York crowd. They're going to light his ass up if Reigns wins. They are going to boo the piss out of him. And I'm looking forward to AJ and Owens with Shane just to see where they take that story. They got some good stories here, actually. For all of the shit that I gave them, the last 2 weeks, they've done a couple of that I've been away. Now that I look at it, and now that I've taken a bit of a breather, I'll say this. They actually have some stories building. The problem with the Bray Wyatt Finn Balor one is that we've seen it time and time again, and we've seen Bray Wyatt have these stale-ass fucking Eater of Worlds promos time and time again. We got the flashing lights time and time again. And guess what happens? Bray loses. The problem is they need to go the extra mile with it. They need to go the Sister Abigail route with it. They need to go early. Remember when early Bray Wyatt where they had the holograms and the kids singing? They need to go that way with it. Give it to us hard, man. I mean, if you're gonna make us bend over and take it, you might as well give it to us hard and fucking rough, you know? That way, if Bray Wyatt does go that route, and Bray Wyatt does go the teetotal supernatural route with the holograms and shit, then it gives validity to the demon actually showing up. Right now, the reason why I want the demon character to show up is because it's long overdue. If you look at it from just a storyline perspective, it's not warranted right now because Bray Wyatt really has not done enough to push Finn Balor over the edge, in my opinion. Big Cass and Big Show, who gives a shit? It's a throwaway feud, just try to get Big Cass over. The problem is, as long as Enzo Little Twerp Amore is anywhere in the picture, Big Cass is not going to get over. Because here's the rub, folks. Enzo Amore, even when they're split up, is still overshadowing and weighing down Big Cass. Plus, it's all in the booking for him. That's my thoughts on the SummerSlam card this time, as of this time. All the titles look like they're going to be defended, which is good. Except for the Intercontinental title. The Miz is not on this show yet. Which is shocking. You're probably going to get Miz versus Jason Jordan. Here's what you're going to get. One of these matches is on the pre-show. You're going to get Miz versus Jason Jordan for the Intercontinental title. And guess what, folks? They're going to give it to Jason Jordan whether you like it or not. Because that's who they're pushing right now. So start puking already. Start your bitching. Start your bitch tweeting. That's the way they're going. Sad but true. Sad but true. That's going to do it for me tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. Go to iTunes. Listen to our stuff on iTunes. We got really good shows up there, folks, and there's more to come. Wednesday, we got the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show, and myself and Jeff Edwards. Jeff Edwards, golly. My mouth is falling down the stairs tonight, folks. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jeff. Hollywood. in the house on Wednesday. It's always awesome when we get Hollywood in the house, man. I look forward to doing that show so much on Wednesdays, I'll be honest with you. But again, Raw had some good, Raw had some bad this week. Overall, decent show. It was 50-50 for me. Thumbs in the middle. Very thumbs in the middle show tonight. Wondering what's up with the Hardys, though. But anyway, folks, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. Donations are always welcome. They're not mandatory, but they're always welcome. And we'll see you down the road.